Setting up rent collection on Baselane is super easy and simple, both for landlords and tenants. It only takes a few minutes. So we're going to go ahead and set up rent collection for this Austin, Texas property. So let's jump in. As you can see, I've already pre-filled a bunch of details. I'm going to start with step number 1, which is identifying the property address. Add the lease details. In this case, we're going to add the lease start date as well as the lease end date. In this case, it's a 1-year lease. You have the option to do a month-to-month lease as well. Next, I've gone ahead and added the monthly rent of $1,300. Rent is due on the 1st, and I'm collecting the rent on January 1st, 2023. Now, most landlords charge a late fee, but if you don't, you do have the option to toggle it on or off. In this case, we're going to add a late fee, collect it on the 6th day, and charge $50. In this case, we're collecting rent for the first time, so we're going to go ahead and add a security deposit, as well as the date that we want to collect the security deposit. Now, if you are not collecting a security deposit, you can just toggle this off. But if you are, you can toggle it back on. If you've already gone and collected security deposit and you want to just indicate the date when it was done, you can mark it as paid. Next, you can add recurring monthly fees, and you have many options and flexibility here. And this is one of my favorite features of Baselane. In this case, I've already added a pet fee for $100, but you can add any other type of fee that you like and the amount and the date that you want to collect it. So here, for example, I'll add a parking fee. And all you have to do is click on save. If you made a mistake and you want to edit that, you can also go ahead and delete that. Now, if you have any other additional fees or rents that you want to collect, you can do that here. For example, if you like to collect the last month's rent, you can quickly toggle that on, add the date that it's due, and indicate that. If you've already collected it through cash or check, you can mark it paid by clicking this check mark. If you're collecting any prorated rent, now this happens often when landlords have tenants moving in the middle of the month, you can toggle that on, add the amount that you want to collect that is prorated. In this case, for example, let's say it's only about a week or so and it's coming out to about $400. And the date that it's due, and once you indicate the date, you can go ahead and save it, and it'll show up in the invoices. In this case, we're not going to have one, so I'm taking that off. And any one-time fees, for example, if you have a move-in fee, a key fee, which is quite common, you can add that in here and select the date that the fee is going to be collected and save it. Okay? I'm actually not going to do that, so I'm going to turn that off and go ahead and turn this off and make sure that everything is filled out correctly. And then I'm going to move over to the next section. Now here, we made it super easy for you to review all the invoices that are generated, and you can continue to load more to make sure you see all of them before you proceed to the next step. In this section, we're going to connect the receiving bank account. Here you have two options. You can open Baselane's landlord-tailored high-value banking account, or you can connect your existing bank account. So let me show you how that's done. Click on Add New Account. If you're going to be opening up a new Baselane banking account, you can click on this option, indicate whether you're a sole proprietor or a business, and follow the application to get approved. Most likely, it's going to take a few minutes for you to complete this process. If you're connecting an external account, click on this option. Here you have the ability to instantly connect that account through Plaid, or to manually connect that account by adding the account number and routing number. Once you've completed that step, we can go ahead to the tenant information. This is very simple. Here we're adding the tenant name, email, and any other contact information. Let's say you haven't added a tenant yet and you're going to be doing that for the first time. You enter the information here as well as their mobile number, which helps us with sending tenants notifications. In this case, I've already added a tenant, so I'm going to just go ahead and select that and review the details. Now, this is a really important step. Take your time to review all the information here, the property address, all the lease terms, any additional fees that you added, and make sure that they're showing up correctly, any security deposits that you've added, anything else, as well as the tenant details. It's very important to make sure and confirm that the tenant's name and their contact information, such as their email and their phone number, is accurate before you confirm and invite the tenant. In this case, we're not going to proceed to inviting the tenant, but if you do confirm and invite the tenant, you're going to see a success screen, which lets you know that an invitation has been sent to the tenant. Now, what happens there is the tenant gets notified right away to create a Baselane account and set up their payment method. Tenant payments are 100% free if they're paying with their bank or with ACH. If tenants are paying via debit or credit card, we charge a 2.99% transaction fee like most merchants do when there's a card present. And lastly, tenants can use Baselane on their desktop or mobile device. And like I said earlier, it takes the tenants really a couple of minutes to create their account, add their payment method, and set up auto payment. Now that we've wrapped up the rent collection, let's head over to the banking and cards and show you what we've got.